craft show can be a bit nerve-wracking. There's so much to think about, and there's always this nagging feeling that you've forgotten something. It's inevitable that you get all the way to the venue, and guess what? You did. The best way to prevent losing your cool at a vendor show is to consider these top tips when preparing your craft show display. If you run through them beforehand, you'll have a 90% chance of surviving your first craft show without gaining an ulcer. Plan it out beforehand. Do a test run. Set up a demo display on the dining room table so that you can visually see the space required. If the coordinators say that you have an 8 by 10 foot booth, what does that look like? How do all of your items look displayed on the table? Is it cluttered, or is it easy to navigate all of the different items? Test it out with multiple people at your table. Is there enough space for them to access different items at the same time? Look at me. Is your signage clear and easy to read from a distance? Does it look generic, or is it customized to relay your brand's look and feel? Is it memorable? Walk this way. Is it easy for several people to visit your booth at once? Are the items on your table presented in such a way that invites visitors to come in, visit, and stay a while? You want to think in terms of themed groupings and varying the eye levels. Show me how. If your item is not obvious or self-explanatory, have a way to show a quick demo in the booth. And even if it is obvious, show them anyway. It helps to create engagement with your potential buyer, builds rapport, and eases them into making the purchase. Takeaways. Give people something to remember you by. Not everyone that visits your booth will want to, nor be prepared to, buy right then and there. So give them a trinket that encourages them to visit your website later to make their purchase or join your email list. Keep it neat and tidy. Perhaps this is just my own little neuroses, but a cluttered table just makes me want to run in the opposite direction. Now, I love the hidden gem of a thrift store find just as much as the next gal, but I don't want to work that hard at a craft show or a street festival. Having your items laid out in a clean and clutter-free environment is more inviting to a passerby than a cluttered table. Create themed vignettes for similar items and then display them creatively. Packing your display. Get several plastic bins to pack up your display. At the end of a vendor show, you're tired and you want to get back home, and the last thing you want to do is wrangle with a bunch of loose items or have them fall off your dolly as you try to navigate your way back to the car. Some of the obvious things not mentioned here is having a system in place to take orders. But you already knew that much, right? If not, check out the link below for a massive craft show checklist. There are definitely some things you didn't even think of. Enjoy!